Hey, welcome back. I'm Mr. Rozan, and if you're in grade 10 math right now, you're staring at a quadratic equation thinking, what am I even supposed to do with this? This video is exactly for you. Today we're solving quadratic equations using the factoring method. This is a core skill in grade 10 math, and it shows up on tests and exams. And once you see the pattern, it's actually pretty easy to do these questions. We're going to be going through 4 examples together, starting with nice and simple, and then we'll be building up to a trickier number where we're going to have a complex trinomial. By the end, you'll have a method you can use on any question your teacher throws at you. And if you're new here, I post Java coding tutorials and math lessons every week, so hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. So let's get into it. So the topic today is we're solving quadratic equations by factoring. So a quadratic equation, if you don't know what it looks like, it actually looks like this. So it would be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And a, b, and c are going to be integers. So they're going to be numbers, it's going to be a trinomial, and it's going to be equal to 0. Okay? If it's not equal to 0, then you should rearrange the equation and make it equal to 0. So, for example, if you had something like this, let's say we had x squared plus 2x equals, I don't know, 7, for example, you wouldn't want to solve it in that format. Like, this is not a good question to solve, honestly. I don't think this factors nicely, but what you have to do is rearrange it first and bring the 7 to the left side, make it negative, and make it equal to 0. So that's going to be step number 1. It has to be in what's called standard form, and it has to equal to 0. So it has to look like this format up here before the technique is going to work that I'm going to show you. So let me give you an example, and we'll try and solve a couple of these questions. Once you see how this works, it's really not that hard. So example number 1. So we're going to solve this equation. So x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. So right now we are in standard form. So it's in ax squared plus bx plus c format. We have it equal to 0. So we're good to go. So what we have to do here is to factor this thing, to solve this, we have to use factoring. And the factoring style that I'm going to use is called the man method. And this is a simple trinomial. The reason it's a simple trinomial is, oops, that's supposed to be equal sign, is the first term is x squared, and the coefficient in front of the x squared is a 1, which makes this a simple trinomial. So what we have to do is, the man method is, M stands for multiply, A stands for add, N stands for numbers. So we need two numbers that multiply to 12, and they're going to add to 7. So you got to think about your times tables now, right? What two numbers multiply to 12, and they add to 7? And the numbers are going to be 4 and 3. Now, because this is a simple trinomial, what we can do is we can create brackets right away. So the brackets are going to look like this. The first one is x plus 4, and the next one would be x plus 3. Whoops. And this is still equal to 0. So, and that's the key to this. The key is that we have two brackets, they multiply together to give 0. So what it means is that either this bracket is a 0 or this bracket is a 0. And I like using arrows when I do this. So either the left bracket is 0, that makes the entire equation 0, or the right bracket is 0, and that makes the entire equation 0. It's almost like this, like, I'll just do a little thing on the side. Like, for example, if I did 5 times 0, that's a 0, right? So it doesn't really matter what that number is. If it's 5, if it's 7, it doesn't really matter. As long as the thing on the right is 0, we don't care about the left side. That thing is 0, right? If the order was changed, though, let's say it was 0 times 5 equals 0, that's also 0. So in this case, this number right here, this 5, it doesn't even matter. As long as the left number is a 0, then the entire thing is 0. So that's what we're doing on our equation up here. So our equation, either the x plus 4 is a 0, in which case I don't care about the x plus 3 bracket, or the x plus 3 bracket is 0, in which case I don't care about the left one. Either way, what you're going to do is just put an arrow down below, and you're going to say that the left bracket, so x plus 4, that's a left bracket, that is 0, or the right bracket, so x plus 3, that is going to be 0. And what you have now is you have two sort of mini equations you need to solve. So the one on the left, we have x plus 4 equals 0. We bring the 4 to the right side. It becomes negative when we do that. So we get x is negative 4. There's one answer. And on the right one, we have x plus 3 equals 0. The 3 comes to the right and it becomes negative, in which case you get x equals negative 3. And that's the solution to this equation. So if you were to sub these values in, so negative 4 or negative 3, into their equation, it's going to work out to be 0. Okay? So that's the solution for the first one. We just solve it by factoring. We get our brackets. And then what you do is you set each bracket equal to 0 and then solve the little mini equation it generates. Okay? Let's do another example. So example 2. X squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0. So right now we have a simple trinomial. It's in standard form. So we can go ahead and start to do our factoring. So we're going to do man on this. It's going to multiply to 20. And we need numbers that will add to negative 9. Okay, and you think about your times tables, what that would work out to be. The numbers are going to be negative 4 and negative 5. Negative 4 times negative 5, they multiply together to get positive 20. And negative 4 plus negative 5 will be negative 9. So these are the two mystery numbers we need to find. Now, because it's a simple trinomial, we can go directly to brackets. So our first bracket will be x minus 4. And the next bracket is x minus 5. And that's equal to 0. Now, because this is an equation and it's equal to 0, either this thing is a 0 or this thing is a 0. So the first one we have is x minus 4 equals 0. And if that's the case, then x equals positive 4. The negative 4 comes to the right side and it becomes positive, and that's the solution. And on the right side, we have x minus 5 equals 0. In which case, x equals positive 5. The negative 5 goes to the right side, and it becomes positive. Now, I want you to think about this too, right? Like, if you were to take x is 4 and plug it right there, right? 4 minus 4, that gives you 0. So that number should kind of make some sense, right? If you were to take the 5 and plug it in right there, where this x is, okay? 5 minus 5 gives me a 0. So these are the two answers. These are the two values that if I put them into my equation, that it turns the equation into 0. Okay? So that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm solving for. Now, be careful. You know, some students, what they do is they fall in a trap, and they're going to look at these brackets and say, well, it's just the opposite sign of the number inside of it, right? Like the bracket on the right on example 2 is x minus 5. The opposite of minus 5 is going to be plus 5, so that's the answer to it, right? That's all well and good if your brackets look like this. If there's something in front of the x, though, it's a little bit different, as we're going to see in example 4. So be careful not to fall in that trap. I always tell my students just to make mini equations and then solve them every single time, and then you're not going to make any kind of errors. Okay? Let's do 2 more examples. Third one is still pretty easy, and then it's going to get a bit trickier for number 4. So let's say I've got this. X squared plus 2x equals 15. All right. Our first issue when I'm looking at this thing is I don't have it equal to 0. You cannot solve a quadratic equation if it's not equal to 0. Okay, at least not the way I'm going to do it. So what I have to do is bring the 15 to the left side and make it negative when I do that. So there's step number 1. Okay, so now we've got it equal to 0. And when I bring the 15 over, essentially what I'm doing is I'm subtracting 15 from both sides. That's what I'm really doing there. Okay, so now it looks like, you know, the standard form equal to 0, exactly what I'm expecting. Now I can go ahead and do the man method. We need to get brackets. So we need two numbers that multiply to negative 15 and they add to 2. And again, you're going to use your times table to try and figure this thing out. And the numbers are going to be 5 and negative 3. 5 times negative 3 gives me negative 15. And 5 plus negative 3 gives me positive 2. So because it's a simple trinomial, our first term is just x squared. We just go right to brackets. So x plus 5 and then x minus 3 equals 0. And then just like the previous examples, we're going to go ahead and get our little mini equations. So we'll say x plus 5 equals 0. Bring the 5 to the right side, it becomes negative. So we're going to get x equals negative 5. There's one answer. And the one on the right, we have x minus 3 equals 0. we bring the negative 3 to the right side, it switches signs, it becomes positive, and you have x equals positive 3. And those are the two solutions for this quadratic equation. Okay, so the only difference on this one was initially it wasn't equal to 0. We had to rearrange the equation, make it equal to 0, and once we do that, we can factor. Okay, last example. Example 4. This one's going to be a complex trinomial, and this is going to make brackets that are a little bit different. They're not going to have they're going to have a coefficient in front of the x, and I'll show you how this one's going to work. So let's say we need to solve this equation. 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 equals 0. So this one here is a complex trinomial. Now, I still solve these using the man method. Other teachers do it differently. The difference, though, is with the m, you have to multiply the first and the last term together. So it's 2 times 3, which in this time is 6. So that's my m. The a is 7. So I need two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 7. And those numbers are going to be 6 and 1. So 6 times 1 gives me 6, and 6 plus 1 gives me 7. Now, I have to do the process of what's called decomposition. I have to split the middle number up in order for this to work. So it doesn't really matter which order you put them in. I'm going to put the 1x first. So the next line would say this. It'd be 2x squared. We're going to say this is plus 1x plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. So decomposition, essentially what I did was I just busted this middle number up into 2. Okay, I broke it up into x and then plus 6x. If you add those together, that is 7x, right? So I just essentially just pulled it apart. Now the reason I pulled it apart is because I want to make common factors with groups of 2. So for my first group here, the only thing that's common is going to be an x. And x can divide out of the 2x squared and the x. So let's take out an x. And if I divide an x out, you're left with 2x plus 1. And on the right piece is the 6x plus 3. What's common there is a 3. And if I divide out a 3, you're left with a 2x plus 1. And with complex trinomial factoring, what you're trying to do is make brackets that look identical, which is exactly what I just did. I have 2x plus 1. So let's common factor that out to the front. And what you're left with is x plus 3. So this is now done. This is fully factored and it's equal to 0, just like before. But the bracket on the left, it's got a coefficient on that x. So now we're going to be very careful what happens here. So we're going to basically bring this down. We're going to say 2x plus 1 equals 0. And this is like a mini equation I need to solve now. So the first step is we're going to bring that plus 1 to the right side, make it negative. And then I have to divide by 2 on both sides because I want the x by itself. These cancel out. You're left with x equals negative 1/2. That's the solution for the first bracket. Second bracket, that's not too bad. This is exactly what we've been doing. So x plus 3 equals 0. Bring the 3 to the right side, becomes negative, and you get x equals negative 3. There is the solution for this one. So that's basically it. So it's really not that hard, but just be careful. Don't always assume that, like I said, what kids will do is they're going to look at this value right here and just change the sign. And yeah, that works. But if you end up in a scenario where you have a coefficient in front of your x or something a little bit different, like it doesn't work all the time. Best strategy is to make a mini equation and just solve them, just like I did here. So there we go. So that's factoring and solving quadratic equations, 4 examples. And so let's recap the steps real quick. So number 1, you need to make sure the equation equals 0. Number 2, you're going to find the two numbers that make the multiply to the m and add to the a. The third step, you got to factor and make your two binomial brackets, just like I did over there. Okay. And then after that, you're going to set each bracket equal to 0 and then solve. Okay. Now, what you could do, if you ever had to check, what you would do is you take your values. So like in this example, for example, there's 3. Okay. What you could do is you could sub it in where the x's are right here and here. And then you could see that it actually works out and it equals to 0. So I'll just do a real quick one here, just to show you the check here. So if I were to sub that in, you would get 3 squared plus 2 times 3 minus 15 equals 0. And it should end up with left side and right side being the same, being 0. So this would be 9 plus 6 minus 15 equals 0. 9 plus 6 is going to be 15. So we got left side equals right side. So that is the answer. Okay? So if you ever have to check it, that's what you can do. That's how you can verify and double check your answers. Okay? So again, all you're going to do here is you're going to get your standard form, get it equal to 0. You're going to factor, make your brackets. Once you get your brackets, you're going to make mini equations and then solve and get your answers. And if you ever have to check, you sub in your results into your equation, and they should be a left side equal to the right side. So if you're getting ready for a test, hopefully these examples help you out. And if this helped you, like and subscribe to this video here. I'm going to be posting Ontario math and Java tutorials every single week. Drop a comment down below if there's something that you want me to cover or you want a video lesson on something. There's lots of topics coming up, and we'll see you in the next one.